Hi families, and welcome to this week's Talking News. Firstly, can I apologise that you didn't get last week's Talking News? I did actually record it, but then I forgot to send you the link out. So I'm just trying to work in a routine to make sure it comes out timely enough. So I've crammed everything in to this week's. First of all, obviously, we have our parent phone calls coming up next week. Now, everybody has been given a 10-minute time slot. I very, very much appreciate that this is an entirely different way of working and it's not without its challenges, but it is the best we can do just now while we're still working with restrictions. Now, when the boys and girls came back to school, Scottish Government asked us to hold pretty much all of the risk mitigation factors that we had in place for the first 6 weeks of term. There was some flexibility around about bubbles or classes mixing in the playground, but I chose not to do that. Firstly, because generally we work with playground zones anyway, because we don't have a great expanse of space. But secondly, I just wanted to wait and see how the virus was behaving, how it was impacting. And a number of schools, depending on how prevalent the virus has been over the last few weeks, have actually gone back to the playground zones. So I'm going to continue to hold that just now, just until we have less visibility of COVID. In terms of your parent appointments, the class teacher will phone you. I do appreciate for families that have got siblings across stages, you've got different nights. Again, we were all round the houses with how we could work this, but we only have three independent phone lines within the school. One of them's in the school office, which actually isn't ideal to have a parent consultation. So the staff will be using the head teacher and deputy head teacher's room, which is why we can only have two classes making calls on any one's evening. So I just wanted to thank all of you for your continued support and cooperation, because I am aware actually that this is the third school year that has been disrupted by the pandemic. Although it's very much a picture of improvement, it's still not without its challenges. So that's coming up next week. Today, we're going to send home your child's personal learning plan and a sample of all the work they've been doing for you to look at over the weekend. There'll be a little prompt letter in your pack that will just give you some information about what's come home and the kind of chat you could have. But really, we just want you to see how well your child is doing and some of the learning that they have been participating in since returning to school. The PLP has a little box for parent comment, but that's actually at the end of the target cycle. So that parent box for comment is for December, when you'll next see your child's work. In terms of giving us feedback today, I'm going to send out a little glow link form, and it'll take you 2 or 3 minutes. I'll keep it as minimal as possible just to give you an opportunity to feedback. Also, if anybody has any particular or individual concerns in regards to how their child is getting on, please lift the phone to us, and myself or Caroline Linscale will get back to you. I know some families had touched base on a couple of things with the wellbeing calls from Laura Coyle, and that's another mechanism to get information to us. So keep that in mind. The other thing that I'm sending home today, or that has come home today, is a paper copy of our parental engagement calendar, which will show you what is coming up over the course of the next months and longer term. Like last year, I've got Plan A and Plan B. So Plan A is when we're not working with restrictions, having people back in the building. Plan B is our alternative. So we'll keep you right. At the moment, we're working with alternatives because we're still not in a position to have any grown-ups in the building. As soon as that changes, we will be all guns blazing on that. The last thing I wanted to pick up on was last week we sent out information on our nurture and wellbeing provision, which we have classed as a primary 8, and to give families some information on what that's all about and what we're looking to achieve from that. Now, I've had some really great conversations with families who did lift the phone to me actually and ask some questions, and I'm really grateful for that. I think sometimes when families see the word nurture or hear nurture, that there can be stereotypes of it perhaps as an indication that, you're not organised, or, you don't have a great breakfast routine, or, your children are missing care and nurture. It's actually not about that. Now, there are some models that do address where those gaps are in children's lives, but our model is different. Our model is very, very well-being based. And actually, with the families I've spoken to, what I'm saying to all of you is everybody needs nurture. We all need nurture. We're entitled to that as every part of our day. And there's other times where we might need a little bit more care and consideration. So that's what our model is about. We have a small group of children at the moment participating in the group for a morning block, and then we have wellbeing and nurture interventions going on in the afternoon. And that could be, some of your children have experienced this, we might do a bit of Lego therapy, we might do circle of friends, we might do a confidence building group. So there's lots and lots actually on offer, and I'd ask all of you to be really, really open-minded about what we're trying to put in place. And if we're reaching out saying, actually, we've noticed this about your child and we think they would really benefit from this, have some discussion with us on it, because it's all about our children and it's all about getting it right for them, and it's all about giving them every opportunity we possibly can, that they feel confident, they feel understood, they feel listened to. It's all part of that bigger picture of life skills. Now, as the year evolves, we're obviously going to continue to get more information out to you on Primary 8 and our wellbeing provision, but I just wanted to touch base because it had come up. If anybody, again, has individual questions, please check in with me, and I'm happy to talk to you on a one-to-one basis about this. I think that's pretty much all for now. Everything's going really well in the school. I did put out a little message and a little tweet earlier this week about just reminding everybody to dress for the weather, because the rain over the last 2 days has, well, we've not seen that for a really long time actually, but it's just a reminder over the coming months that the weather is likely to be a little bit more challenging, but it's very much in the children's best interest that they still get those opportunities to have playtimes and lunchtimes outside and to have a break. Also, we're still taking PE outdoors. Last session, our amazing PTA funded full waterproof sets for all of the children, which actually some of them popped on yesterday. I think some children were really disappointed that the rain was off at lunchtime, because I was out in the playground in the morning saying, waterproof day, let's have these on. But I know certainly some children had them on yesterday for PE, which was fantastic. So I would just ask, if you can, ensure your child has a cosy jacket, or a cosy jumper under a lighter weight jacket, and if possible, some sort of waterproof footwear, whether it's like a sturdy pair of shoes or boots or wellies, and that just gives us a little bit more flexibility about some of the opportunities that we are able to offer. So I'm going to stop there for today, because I'm going to send the link to YouTube to compress it, to get it out to you today, so that I don't do what I did last week. And again, if there's anything in the interim, please don't hesitate to pick up the phone to Caroline Linscale or I. We are still in the playground in the morning. Miss Linscale tends to be based around like primary 1 and then moves up to primary 6. I am there, but I'm kind of round the corner, so I'm where primary 4 and 5 are, but the vantage point for primary 7. So both of the senior managers are still in the playground every morning. So if you are passing through and you are looking for one of us, that is where you'll find us. Okay, I'm going to leave it with you. Have a super weekend. Really looking forward to the opportunity of our staff having the chance to speak to you personally next week. And I hope you really get something from that. And I will speak to you soon. Thank you.